Hey folks, today is February 11th, 2025. I'm just going to go over quickly with you what I saw in the charts today. I'm just going to ramble a little bit. We'll try to keep it under 2 or 3 minutes. Here is pretty much the daily chart for ES. This is S&P 500. And if we go over to, well, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's go here. Okay. This is the 5-minute time frame for ES today. You see that we did have news events. We had red folder news events of Federal Chair Powell testifying this morning about 10 o'clock, and then we had President Trump speaking around 3:40. Price moved up nicely. One of the things I did notice, we had this pretty deep retracement here, but you see, like right at before market open, it kind of corresponds with this over here, this area over here. This is just one of the scripts I put together. Not really sure. I don't remember what this bar was signifying, but apparently it signified something significant. And it was a good area for a bounce. Now, if we go over to the 1-minute time frame. Now, I need to change my charts around a little bit because I noticed I didn't see, like, reviewing the chart this afternoon. I see more than I did when I was looking at it earlier. And part of the reason why is because this right here skewed my chart. So this is like the transaction. So this is not just ticks. This is the number of transactions here, this line here. But because there were so many transactions that happened here around Federal Chair Powell testifying, it made this scale super high, and then so we couldn't really see the nuances of this chart here. But for me, the way when I'm looking at the chart, this line here is pretty significant. So I hate that I didn't get to see that, but let's go over to the 15-second time frame, and this is what I look at a lot more. Yeah, I know it looks busy, but I'm not looking at it all at one time. Some of the things I see that happen specifically when we're getting like a reversal though is, so for instance, when price comes down here, when price comes down here and breaks that descending resistance, this area right in here, we tend to have a high amount of transactions, which we did in here. And then we also have a lot of buyers. You see that the blue peaks over the red. This tends to show that buyers are more visible in the market. And then we also see the market just overall in the level 2, the total number of contracts that show up in level 2 is higher than it was prior, right? So that's typically what I see when I see a reversal about to happen. Not only that, but I tend to see these bid nodes here. You've heard me talk about them before if you watch the channel at all. But this blue mark here, this is what I call a bid node. But typically I'll see it show up down here when we get ready to have a reversal. This one just showed up kind of phantomly on the way down. I think it did show up a little bit later, yeah, when it came in for a retest. And then it showed up down here, right? So even like on these bars here, this is showing up at this level for these bars. So typically when I see that, when price comes down to this level, there's usually a push up of some kind, right? It happened over here too. It shows up right here on this bar, but then it waits until the price comes down here before it pushes off of it. It comes to that price level. And then, like I said, we also tend to see higher buyer visibility, little peak in the blue there, higher buyer visibility, and then price will move up. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking for these days. So I'm gonna continue looking for more stuff, and then hopefully I'm able to weed out the noise, and we can make some decent trades. I did okay today with trading the day, but I could have done a ton better. But anyway, that's it for me, guys. I hope you got a little something out of this. But like I say, to help kind of settle down the noise, I'm looking at the 15-second time frame, but I also look at the I have this same information recorded for the 1-minute time frame. You see how this, and yes, volume peaks as well, right, as the transactions, but transactions is not volume. They're not the same. They don't have to have the same curvature or graphical response. They just don't. So, just keep that in mind. All right, and yeah. So, anyway, I think I did NQ as well, but I don't even look at NQ. I'm just recording it just in case I take a notion to learn a little bit about NQ. I'll have it here. Okay. Oh, and then one of the other things I typically see, this area down here, this area here, the time and sales would tend to see a large buyer in the absence of large sellers. You see there's a large seller here at the top. There's a large seller here in the absence, void of any other really large blue buyers, right? So we got to the top of here, and that turned out to be the top of the move. I should have looked over at this chart because it did kind of sell off from there. But then what did price do? Even on ES, it came down to around this region. It came down to the high of the pre-market move that was used to push up. I did trade pre-market and I saw the build for the buyers coming in through there, and that gave me conviction to stay in the trade even when market opened. That gave me the conviction to stay in the trade against the push up, or through the push up, and then price came back down to that pre-market area and then just pushed off of it. Yeah, somewhere in here. Yeah, you see this before price pushed up. So like this is the market open area, and price pushed up and through this pre-market consolidation zone. Well, if you can imagine, the high of this pre-market consolidation zone comes all the way through here. All right, well, that is that is the area that we can consider price found as a support to push back up from, because price isn't going to want to come all the way back to the beginning where the strongest buyers are. They can't risk anybody else getting that close to their price, and then two, they need to keep the price moving in the direction they need it to move in, so that they don't lose the momentum or lose to get overpowered by the opposing force and then end up losing their position. So price isn't going to come all the way back to the beginning. I mean, of course it can, but I often see times that it doesn't do a perfect double bottom or anything like that. It's usually going to do a higher low. It's going to come just short of it, and then not give you an opportunity to get in, take off, or it'll look like it's really weak. It'll look like it's really low, sold off below these wicks and all that kind of stuff. And then so you don't want to buy. Well, if you're not buying, who's buying? The stronger hands are buying, so they get all these better entries down here, and then you try to get in down here just quick enough for them to take a little bit of profit or control the move. You get stopped back out, coming back down, or coming back down into here because you thought that this was a nice pattern getting ready to break up, and then you get stopped at down here. So they take your positions one more time, and then they move it on up, and then you buy again, and then you end up being what pushes the market up. Meanwhile, they got in here, here, and here.
Strategy alert.
And that is the sweet spots. Yeah. So anyway, with that, guys, gals, I didn't do any, yeah, I did do some programming today, but nothing spectacular, nothing novel, nothing really new. I do want to work a little bit more on coming up with something for speed of ticks, the speed of the chart. One of the things I do look for, like as prices coming down here, I'm gonna put this on the global position. Go over here. Oh, I lost it. Right. There is an indicator that I use on this chart that shows me when the spread has gotten really flat for a number of ticks, and then it'll give me a cross. It'll give me an indication over here. Well, when the platform did a backup, it kind of closes out the server, and so you lose your Tradestation connection. And when you lose that, you lose some of those. You lose that data that was not saved in a stream write or something like that. So that might be one that I end up making a script for, so I can save those data points. Either that or use a global dictionary. But anyway, all right, guys. With that, I'm Eric. I'm out.